Are you someone who wants to make the absolute most out of the 2025 bull run? Well, if you're like me, you definitely want to, and I don't think we can really afford not to. So if you want to make some good money, well, let's cover some altcoins today that I believe are the ones that you cannot afford to miss out on. That being said, guys, make sure you like the video if you enjoy, and let's get straight into it. So before we do, I want to tell you a very quick story. Now, if you were like me in the last bull run, and chances are you will be if you're new to the market, you tend to follow this pattern where you buy a cryptocurrency you have conviction in, right? One you've done a little bit of research, or one you've been shilled enough times to know a little bit about. You tend to hold that, right, all the way through 2024 into halfway through 2025, and then you start to panic because, hey, other altcoins are pumping, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're missing out, and oh, I'm going to contact Kyron and see if he can maybe tell me to buy a new altcoin, or you check any other YouTubers and you say, hey, what do these people think? Well, that, my friend, was what I did in the last bull run, okay? I spent a lot of time holding projects, selling them because I wanted to get in on the action, and by the time I executed, I bought the altcoin at 5, 10x more than what other people were. They were dumping on me, and then my old projects would pump, and I would buy back in at 2, 3x more than what I could have, and this cycle repeated itself until I basically lost money in the moment when you should be minimum 10xing. So with that said, I don't want that to be you guys. So today I've constructed a list, not just throwing random coins in. I want to give you guys the exact answers as to why I think these projects are ones that you cannot afford to miss out on. So to do that, we can't just run into this mix and say, hey, again, here's like 5, 6 altcoins. What we're going to do is follow a very important schedule and essentially criteria that I've constructed, spent thousands of hours, and this was the result on what I believe will be the most important things in 2025. Number one is, will people know about the project? This comes down to what narrative it's in. So this draws in the mass market, okay? It brings in the people, gets them interested in a certain type of project, layer 1, oracles, whatever it might be, gaming, metaverse. And then number 2 on this list is, will people want to buy it? That's the meme. So that's the reason why someone might, or a group of people, might gravitate to one single altcoin in that big list of possible subjects, because we're taking advantage of those who are buying and selling, right? They essentially travel behind the FOMO, right? They travel with it. We want to take advantage, and that's one of the criteria on this list. Now, the third criteria is looking at, can we actually stake the token? And if so, what are the rewards like? This is important for 2 reasons. One, we can actually end up, of course, making more money. So, if it hits our price target, we're going to make more money, right? Get our initial investment back and maybe even get more multiples of it. And number 2 is, we can actually make more money selling at a lower price on average, meaning that we are safer in the bull run, right? We are taking our profits out earlier, which is of course always safer. And number 4, price prediction. Where the hell is this thing headed? Let's do it. So another one on this list, we have Hedera HBAR, okay? Hedera, as I said, we're gonna go through the narrative, meme, price prediction, and then staking, right? And visualizing the staking is very important here. So is it a good narrative? Yes. Hedera is one of a kind. It's its only type of layer 1 network out there, okay? So it's a great team, a great bunch of people governing the project as well. Fundamentally speaking, of course, it's got, it's in the layer 1 area, right? And you could argue IoT, all these smaller narratives, but we're focusing mainly on layer 1. That's why I've rated an 8. There's nothing massive out there, nothing too insane, but layer 1's enough. Again, powerful meme, well, I kind of described it then, right? It does have a very powerful meme in the fact that, of course, it's got so many unique attributes that no one can deny. If you're looking for a project as a reason to buy it, those things are going to be part of the reason. They are actually solving some of the issues people are facing wanting to buy it, including decentralization as well. So that's a big proponent. That's why I've given it a 10 out of 10 on this list. And this is very important in a speculation market, which we will be having in 2025. It's no use us looking deep into the metrics when we're trying to essentially be one step ahead of the degen. If we can do that, all right, we're going to beat the degen. That's the big money we're concerned with in this case. Now, my price prediction for HBAR is between $2 to $3. And now say max realistic. This is the very top. Is it likely to hit that? Well, again, that's the absolute limit where I think it could possibly go. $2, most likely. That's a $70 billion market cap. If you have about, I think it was about 35 billion of the tokens in supply, and that's a very important thing to assess when doing these price predictions. Up to $3. Now, $3 in this case, it would be a Cardano type event where Cardano went from like 3 billion to 100 billion. So that would be where I think that it could happen. And I do think HBAR is the project that could most definitely make that happen. That's about a 50x from the current price. So that is quite a lot. So I think definitely $2. Some people argue $1. I don't think so. Now, staking. Yes, you can stake. Now, it's one of the best in the entire space. It's actually liquid staking, which means you can hold your tokens. You have custody of them. you can transfer that out whenever you want to. But the APY currently is quite low at 1.16%. As you can see over here, this is very important, right? In this situation, we buy $1,000 worth of the tokens at 5 cents, roughly the same price as now. That's 20,000 tokens. Well, the reason why it's important to have rewards, okay, especially rewards that beat the inflation. Now, there is no technical inflation with HBAR. You actually can sell at what I believe the max realistic price is, and that's $40,900. So actually, over 2 years, you can essentially claw back your initial investment of the $1,000 in passive income. That's pretty damn good in my opinion, right? But we can also do the double-edged sword, right? We can also come down a level and say, well, hey, we just want to take our 40,000 out. We want to 40x this altcoin, which again is the difference between 5 cents and $2. But because we are gaining passive rewards over this time, we're going to have more tokens. More tokens means we can sell at a lower price and accept 40,000 revenue as well, which means mathematically speaking, we could sell at 195. Now, that isn't too much of a difference. Matter of fact, that's pretty well negligible. I wouldn't even bother about that. You may as well, right? You probably wouldn't want to wait to $2 because that's a very big sticking point, but suffice to say, HBAR isn't the best on this list. It gets better. The one at the very end, you guys love this project, by the way. The last altcoin on this list is mind-bending how much money you can make in the next 2 years passively. So, number 2, altcoin Multiverse X. And this, yes, is another layer 1 network, but you guys know I love layer 1 projects. The difference is this project is, as the name says, multiverse, right? It's looking to get into the multiverse sort of narrative bandwagon and also sort of the gaming, right? One of the cleanest interfaces. I've got a lot of friends and met a lot of people through this project. Really happy to say that. And overall, fantastic network, right? It's solving the scalability approach in the pretty much most modular way possible. I don't want to get into the specifications. Nevertheless, in my opinion, it's in a 9 out of 10, just edges out HBAR because, as I said, it pretty much has more powerful primary narratives, right? It's got layer 1, metaverse / gaming as well. It's just a bit better. However, the meme, as you can see here, is 2 points lower than HBAR. And the reason is because, unfortunately, we have to play this into consideration here. A lot of people do look at Multiverse X. It used to be called Elrond. They didn't like the name change. Multiverse is kind of, superficial. There's always some sort of issue with crypto people, So people don't like it because that does actually affect the meme. A big part of the meme is having a global consensus in a certain direction, and unfortunately for this, it has brought it down, but again, 8 out of 10, that's still pretty damn good. And these things change. It all depends on how we read the market at the current time. Just like the price prediction at that. Price predictions should always be revisited, and they never stick. Just like any sort of trader, they don't have a pattern, and if it becomes nullified, if it moves in a different direction, they don't go, oh, well, we're going to still stick with this pattern in this chart. No, they mold with it. So should we. So in this case, I'm saying between $1,000 and $1,500. It could definitely go a lot more, but I think the meme might hold it down if that's the case. That's a $28 billion market cap right up to a $42 billion market cap. Now, of course, like all the projects on this list, for this example down here with staking, I'm going to use a lower of the two just to be safer. I'm trying to be as realistic as possible while also being, know what's coming. Crypto is going to be massive. A lot of money is going to flow into STEM space. So at the moment, 6% APY on average, right, which is actually, there's no inflation, which is pretty interesting, right? There's no inflation at all, or very little at that. So in this case, if we look at buying $1,000 worth of the token at $43 as of today, we get 23 tokens. Of course, if we stake or at least have a plus 6% APY, average percent yield, what happens? Well, in 2 years, we could essentially 23x, which is again the $1,000 price prediction. In this case, you'd walk away with $25,800 rather than if you didn't stake, you'd only end up with about $23,000. So you actually make $2,000 more, which means actually over $2,000, which means you actually almost 3x. So that $1,000 you put in, if you just passively hold this for the next 2 years, that's a 3x just in rewards, let alone the actual appreciation of the project, right? But of course, we can pull back down and say, well, our 23,000, we want to hit 23,000, but you can sell now $890. That's actually a fair bit of a difference, right? $890, what's that, $110 difference? Again, we're talking about being safe here, guys. Yes, it's always good going up to the max level and getting an extra 3x out of your money, but what if it doesn't hit that? You're going to be screwed, right? So remember, play it safe. Now, project number 3 on today's list is none other than Injective. You guys have been pushing Injective down my damn throat for the longest time now, and I thought, I need to look into this project a little bit more. Now, I must say, I love it, but if I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys, it doesn't absolutely tickle my fancy, right? It's a Cosmos, it's built on the Cosmos SDK, it runs on Tangem, and that's arguably very centralized. That's not the main reason I'm concerned with it. It's very DeFi focused. But what happens when it's DeFi focused? Of course, it unlocks a new narrative, okay? And I haven't really ranked DeFi that high on my narrative list, but the fact that it's got two pretty powerful narratives is the reason why I give it a 9 out of 10. Okay, so it's, in my opinion, quite a good narrative list. So that's actually interesting here because I think it will definitely pump in a DeFi season. Over here, does it have a powerful meme? Well, again, in my opinion, DGens love DeFi, that's a given. But how many people are going to love this specific project for DeFi? And that might be a little bit of a sticking point. Again, it's not always about practicality. It's also mainly about what people think is cool. And at this point, I'm going to rank it a bit lower again because I don't know enough about the market for the project. But this is definitely going to change over time. So you should definitely subscribe if you haven't already, because over time, of course, these things change and I become much more confident once we have more data to kind of pull from. And so over here, max realistic price prediction, in my opinion, 200 to 250 bucks. I'm going to get slammed for that. I'm just know it, right? That's a 18 billion to 23 billion market cap. However, Injective right now is quite overextended. It's basically almost at its all-time high already. So that tells me we might have a bit of a retracement. I mean, hey, I could be completely wrong. Look at Kaspa, right? Kaspa's actually just continued and continued and continued to just beat this sentiment. It doesn't give a crap about anything else. It's just gone up. So in this case, anything could happen, but this is me just trying to be as realistic. I think I saw Invest Answers. I saw a video of his talk about Injective a few weeks ago, and he was basically saying that Injective's only going to hit like $50 or so in the bull run. So, you know, there's definitely a conservative prediction, but we'll see how these go. Now, staking, 9% over here for Injective. So the second largest on this list, right? You guys are going to have to absolutely have a look at the last one in this case because it's just going to blow this out of the water. And in this case, if we bought $1,000, right, of the current price of $16, we'd get 62.5 tokens, right? Now, if we stake over the next 2 years at roughly an average of 9% per year, again, the inflation is 8% and the staking currently is average about 17%, we're going to get some pretty insane numbers over here, right? So we can actually 12.5x to my minimum price prediction, but if we set 12.5x, we don't end up with 12,500 bucks, right? That's a 12.5x of course, $1,000. What we end up with is 17,120. So we all actually almost 5x our initial investment. Guys, that's just literally like, imagine you putting in $1,000 today and then in, 5 years or 2 years, for example, you 5x, right? That's pretty, traditionally, that's like insane. You've done really, really well here. Again, we're using $1,000 in this case, but you might want to put $10,000 and $100,000 in. Not saying financial advice you should do that, but in that case, you're 5xing that money passively. It's insane, right? And so now if we come back down and say, well, we just want a 12.5x, as safe as possible, forget the extra money we could make. Well, again, you could come down to a nice crisp $146, which is actually $54 difference. That's over a quarter of the price down. That's insane in my opinion, right? And of course, that comes with a higher APY. You're just locking in those gains much more. Anything above this number is, of course, just even more FU money, right, essentially. So with that said, the last one on this list may shock some of you, and it definitely shocked me when I had a look at this information. I wanted to throw a really big spanner in the works. You guys are going to love this because it's Kaspa. Hang on, Kyron. Kaspa's proof of work network, bro. Are you tripping? You can't stake Kaspa. That's true. You can't stake Kaspa. What you can do is buy a miner. Have a listen to this in a second. Let's just go through the other steps first. Is it in a good narrative? Well, it's a layer 1 proof of work network. Yes, 8 out of 10. You could even argue 9 or a 10 out of 10. Because fundamentally, there's not many layer 1 proof of work networks out there. So I think Kaspa has a really good leg up. That's why it's pumping so much right now. It's so unique in a unique category already. So matter of fact, I could probably even on the spot live right now, I probably could even pump us up to a 10 just because of the proof of work narrative. But in my opinion, where it really shines through, I'm going to reverse that because I think it really shines through on the meme here, right? Being a 10 out of 10. Again, proof of work, extremely scalable, very fair, transparent. It's a cryptocurrency, true cryptocurrency here. Kaspa 10 out of 10. You guys have seen me make the video on the dark side of Kaspa. Got a lot of hate from the Kaspa community on that. Now, I've also done a dark side video on many other altcoins. It wasn't just throwing straight at Kaspa. I just like to look at the flaws in projects and give you all an objective analysis on it. But anyway, in my opinion, the price prediction for this bad boy can go from 150 minimum to the max side up to $2, I think. So a 40 billion market cap right up to 53 billion. Again, it's not the largest on this list. I think HBAR will do better only because Kaspa is so extended right now. I just don't know if it can sustain this. I think if the smart contracts and all this bullish features and facts come into it, that's going to do well for it. You can call me a bear. I don't want to be a bear. I'm not trying to be. I just think just inside this feeling says that is going to likely happen. But again, we're going to revisit this in the future. I could be very, very wrong. And for all you Kaspa holders, I hope I am wrong, right? I got no problem with people making money. That's why I'm here. So mining, let's have a look at this. Okay, so you can't stake on Kaspa, but what you can have is buy a single miner. Now, if you buy a miner, the best miner you can buy right now is the AND miner, I think KS3. And this is about 15,000 US dollars. So it ain't a cheap little girl itself, but what it will do, if you have conviction in this project, is make you king wealthy. Let me tell you this right now, not financial advice. So if you put $1,000 today, right, at 13 cents, you get 7,700 tokens. Okay, that's a lot of tokens, but is it really? Because look at this. If you buy this miner, put the 15K in, right? You're only pretty much buying it. You may as well not even buy the tokens anyway. You may as well just mine, right? Okay, so you buy one miner. What happens? Well, in 1 year, you pretty much earn about 260,000 tokens, whatever basically half 520,000 is, right? 270,000 tokens. It's crazy. 1 year. Of course, 2 years you mine 520,000, but I want to say, it's not exact because you can't. It's with a mining proof of work network. If you're going to go ahead and look at this information and go ahead and buy one now, just don't understand that the more people that join the network, the worse it becomes, the harder it is to mine a block. And in this case, you're going to be competing with a lot of people because it's very profitable for Casper miners out there right now. So yes, while it's profitable right now, I don't know how long that might last. It will eventually become like Bitcoin where you'll have to set up bloody 100 of these miners just to get any sort of fair rewards, right? So, but again, right now it's very, very profitable, specifically because Casper's price is up. So, but again, you can earn 520,000 tokens. So yes, you can 11.5x, right? Which is again, like what I think the price prediction will be minimum here, which instead of getting $11,500, you get $1.57 million. Literally insane over here. And, if you want to just simply take out your 11.5x, be as safe as possible, well, the price would actually have to drop 13x from here. It's literally insane because you'd have 1.047 million tokens, as you can see. That's a 1,500 plus X on your initial investment. I can't even comprehend that, right? So, of course, 15K is a lot of money to put into one miner, but at least right now, the rewards are most definitely worth it, times 1,000, literally. So, with that being said, everyone, thank you so much for watching. In my opinion, these are the ones you can't afford to miss, especially if you are someone who wants to make some passive money in the meantime, be as safe as possible, whilst, of course, obtaining those gains. Now, if you've enjoyed the video and you've made it this far, then why the hell not give it a like? It's much appreciated. And with that being said, guys, thank you all for watching. Talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye.